I was 7 before I saw my first film, in Marlborough's Little Flea Pit. It was Bambi. In the film, Bambi's mother tells Bambi, "If you can't say anything nice about somebody, don't say anything." My mother must have repeated this to me at least 30 times. It's a shame that I'll have to ignore it, but it might be a bit of a damper on an autobiography. On March the 13th, 1935, Hitler achieved air parity with Britain. Golden Miller won the Cheltenham Gold Cup for the 4th time. The Duke of Norfolk shot a rhino, and I reluctantly exchanged the comfort of my mother's womb for the uncertainty of life in Orpington. My parents and I lived in a neat neo-Georgian 1920s detached red brick house in Sevenoaks Road, Orpington. It was number 47. Later, when more houses were built, it became number 55. There is no plaque. My father was the senior maths master and deputy headmaster at the City of London School, and caught the 802 to Cannon Street every morning. Both my grandfathers taught maths, and were headmasters. My mother taught maths before her marriage. Both my grandmothers taught maths before their marriages. What went wrong with me? Shortly before the outbreak of the Second World War, we moved to Marlborough in Wiltshire. The headmaster of Marlborough College invited the City of London School to share their premises for the duration. It was a big change for a small boy. Orpington is a sprawling suburb. Marlborough is a compact market town surrounded by glorious empty countryside. That autumn I started school. It was called a kindergarten, and it was run by a tall lady called Miss Kinder. Being reasonably bright, I deduced that it was called a kindergarten because it was run by Miss Kinder, and I had a furious row with a girl who told me she went to a kindergarten run by a Miss Brown. I told her with fine scorn that a school run by a Miss Brown was a Brown garden. I felt humiliated when I discovered that I was wrong, and this incident caused me to mistrust intellectual speculation. My chance of becoming a distinguished philosopher may well have disappeared at that moment of disillusion. I may already have been doomed, had I but known it, to write for Dick Emery and Jimmy Tarbuck. I must have been about 7 when I discovered my first truly great writer. His name was Captain W.E. Johns, and he wrote about a character called Major James Bigglesworth, better known to all his friends as Biggles. I can remember writing my first story. I can't have been older than 9. Much later, I came upon a list of titles for books I never wrote. Badger Flies North. Badger Flies In. Badger Flies Out. Yes, I'd crossed Biggles with a badger. It's a pity that the most commercial idea I ever had came at the age of 8.